Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS for the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as were the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakalia, and I'm from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and this video is a Mark of the Beast update, which is the market chip. Alright, so Mark of the Beast update, market chip, and this market chip needs certain things in order to work, and that is why we're seeing the very quick development of these central bank digital currencies, as well as these digital identification systems. All right, because it's going to be merged and put onto the market chip. The market chip is going to be an all-for-one use. All right, unless you have the market chip, you won't be able to buy or sell. You won't be able to travel. You won't be able to gain access to government services. You won't be able to continue living life, basically, unless you have it. So this is it in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And who's he that will be causing this? Ultimately, Yahweh Shai. This is the Most High's technology, because the Most High is in control of all things. But he has set up the wicked, which are currently in rulership. Oh my God. I wonder if you can hear that. It's a plane passing by. Okay. All right. He has set up the wicked to be in rulership to push this technology, this wicked technology. Okay. Because it has wicked ulterior motives to it. And ultimately, Yahweh Shemishai says that if you take it, you're going to be destroyed. It is the mark of the beast. All right. Esau's technology as well. Okay. So it's the wicked elite of Esau Edom that is currently pushing all of the nations around the world to develop their digital identification systems and these central bank digital currencies. And it's going to be their ultimate last hoorah to control the world, really. Right? And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the prophecy says buy or sell, and that's why we have central bank digital currencies being developed. Okay. And in regards to, which is a digital way to pay, right? And in regards to the digital identities, well, you have to be identified, and it's technology. Okay. So it's needed, right? Because it's going to be that all for one use. You know, there's this Japanese company, the Goldex IPPO. You can type it into YouTube, and when you watch the video, it literally shows you that everything is merged onto it, you know, and that when it says that they have the market chip in their hand, they go and they make purchases, and they go and they visit the doctor, and they use it to go on the train and all of these kinds of things. So this is where the world is heading to, and it's being developed very swiftly. I have some information here, just an update, you know, of what's going on in the world. I will start with Finland. Tests digital passports for contactless cross-border travel from the UK. Okay, so Finland is testing digital passports, just another part of the system that's being developed, because unless you have the market chip, you won't be able to travel as well. You know, that's where it's getting to. And that's not unfathomable, because just a few months ago or whatever, you couldn't travel to certain places unless you had that solution to the problem that started in 2020, right? Y'all know what it is. Okay, so this is just a part of it, a part of the system that's being developed. All right, as I mentioned before, you won't be able to conduct your life or live life or move around or anything unless you have that market chip. That's where it's going to get to. So that's a quickie on that. We have over here over there rather, in Brazil. They're joining in. Brazil's central bank lays out reasons for developing central bank digital currency, and it's called the DREX by Banco Central do Brazil. Okay, the central bank digital currency that Brazil's central bank is to pilot for retail payments in stores is to be called DREX. Out here in Jamaica, it's called the Jamdex. They already launched it very quickly. Okay, you have the Sand Dollar in the Bahamas. Okay, and let's not forget the Eastern Caribbean central bank digital currency. Okay, so the Caribbean actually fast-tracked their central bank digital currencies in various different places. Now we have Brazil joining in, and I read an article before that said that's about 92 or 93% of the central banks around the world are piloting a central bank digital currency. This is a one world thing, man. The wicked elite of Esau Edom intends for all nations to be a part of this. Okay? So I'm sorry for if there's any noise in the background. But that's really loud. Anyway, yeah, the central bank digital currency that Brazil's central bank is to pilot for retail payments in stores is to be called DREX and will be a step forward in democratizing access for individuals and entrepreneurs to the benefits of the digitalization of the economy, the Banco Central do Brazil has announced. DREX will bring more speed, practicality, and lower costs to various contractual and financial transactions we make today, BCB Deputy Governor Mauricio Muro says. In the purchase and sale of a car, the seller often fears transferring the ownership of the vehicle without receiving the money first, whereas the buyer often fears paying before ownership is transferred. Due to DREX's programmability, it doesn't matter who makes the first move. Only when both conditions happen does DREX conclude the contract by simultaneously transferring money and ownership. So they're going to be talking about the benefits of these central bank digital currencies, letting the public know why. And it is very convenient. But you see, the convenience is a trick because it's heading towards, unless you have this market chip, you can't do these things. And that is a problem right there. Because Yahweh Shemishai says, do not take it. And there's a judgment for it. All right? And I'm talking to you Israelites because salvation is only for us. And it is the elect of the nation of Israel that will refuse the mark of the beast and will be protected in the last days. All right, so that's what's going on in Brazil. Okay, now we have this information from the US, the United States of America, Mr. Babylon the Great, the whore that sitteth upon the beast, which that beast is talking about NATO, and it has 10 horns, which is talking about the European Union. Okay, all eyes are upon America and how she is developing. Because you have all of this information are coming from all across the world, from China to India to Brazil to Africa to those other countries in like Malaysia, Indonesia, etc., the Caribbean. But what's going on with the United States of America? Where's she at? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's she at? We've heard about the Fed dollar, okay, and how it's, progressing or whatever, but she's moving at a glacial pace compared to the rest of these countries. What's she doing? Okay, but here we have from biometricupdate.com, US wants word from vendors that can speed digital ID security standards creation. Okay, so US wants word from vendors. What are vendors? Think about the precept, buy or sell. People buy from vendors all the time, right? So they want to see if they can speed digital ID security standards creation. So let's read a bit on this. Anyone with the expertise and products to get digital identities on mobile devices fast are being invited by the US government to let NIST know their interest in working on related reference architectures. And who isn't? Which company in that today isn't a part of products to get digital identities on mobile devices, right? The National Institute of Standards and Technology is managing the public/private project, which is expected to define and create privacy-focused digital ID architectures that are secure and equitable and easily adoptable and simple to use. So the way I see this, the way I read this, my comprehension of this is that all of these companies in America need to be focusing on these digital ID architectures. They're implementing these digital ID systems into these companies. Okay. NIST's National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence is running the project, which has identified cybersecurity challenges that are holding back digital ID adoption. So they're saying that things are holding it back, but they need to fast track it, right? Because this devil needs to fast track everything. He needs to fast track these central bank digital currencies and these digital identification systems and everything else that comes along with it to push out his market share, because he knows that his time is short. The end is coming of his rulership, man. Okay? And as it says it in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, therefore rejoice. Hold up. I'll tell you about Satan, boy. All right. It says, rejoice, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So this devil knows his time is short. And the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, they know that we out there, we prophesying. They know that what we're talking about is the truth. And they can see the signs. They've seen the chariots, the influx of chariots that have been showing themselves, the sign of the prophets, which when the prophets appeared on the scene, they knew they was at the end. All right. So they know their time is short, and they're getting ready to push their technology very quickly. That main technology, the mark chip, which is that mark of the beast. So going back to this, it says NIST's National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence is running the project, which has identified cybersecurity challenges that are holding back digital ID adoption according to the government. So the government is a part of this, which is key, right? And good news to hear. The American government is pushing this. So America, she's trying to pick up her feet and she's trying to move towards getting the system in place. Ultimately, Washington wants to rationalize a digital ID market. A digital ID market, buy or sell. Vendors and buyers are part of the digital identity. Okay? That needs technical standardization if it's going to address the needs of anyone needing to reliably verify someone's identity digitally. And that's what's going to happen, man. That's why it's being developed. So that when people go and they make a purchase, these vendors that are selling will have the technology in place to be able to say, oh, okay, this is you. Boom. It's just like that movie with Tom Cruise, right? I forget what it's named, but some people know what it is. But yes, so that's what's going on in America. Let's see anything else here. Last month, the European Union Cybersecurity Agency published a report for digital ID companies trying to keep up with the multiple attempts to create standards. So the European Union is a part of it as well. The European Union is an ally to America. It is the 10 horns spoken about in Revelation chapter 17. Okay, so that's going on. So you got the US. Let's head on over to Malaysia. Also fast tracking. So everything's moving faster, man. They're saying in the articles literally that they're moving faster. They're letting us know. Yahweh Shemshah is letting us know that things are progressing faster. Okay, Malaysia fast tracks biometric digital IDs. Okay, so this is what's going on over there in Malaysia as well. I don't need to read the article on that, just the title. And then I was, when I looked at this and I looked at this right here from biometricupdate.com, right? And I go to digital ID for all. I'm seeing like that there's a focus on certain countries. Now, all countries there's a focus on, but I'm looking at why is it that you're not hearing anything about China anymore in regards to this? Well, that's because the system in China is in place. So now they're focusing on these other large populations, right? Because I went to the worlddatainfo.com to see what's going on with the world population, as Esau Edom says, and you have India, China, United States, Indonesia. And there has been a very heavy focus on the continent of Africa regarding the digital identification systems and moving towards all of this stuff, right? And when you look at it, Nigeria is number 6 largest. But then when you look at the continent overall, you have Nigeria, then Ethiopia's there, Egypt, you have Congo, Tanzania, South Africa, all of this stuff, all of these countries. I'm trying to do this video and hold. Yeah, I'm back. Satan is working overtime. Okay. Maybe he doesn't want this information to get out there. But I was looking at it and I was looking at the world's largest populations and the focus on developing these central bank digital currencies and these digital identification systems. All right. So India, very fast push. China, they already there. The America, now they're fast tracking. Indonesia, I decided to Google Indonesia, and back in January 4th of 2023, this year, it says the World Bank proposes 250 million for Indonesia digital ID for public and private service access. So it makes sense, right? That Esau Edom would target the larger populations in the world, right? Very heavily. Okay, so Indonesia and even Brazil, number 7 right there on the list. So it's all in the works, man. It's all in the works. And Yahweh Shemisha is speeding this thing up, whether people can see it or not, But that's why the prophets have been set up to warn the people, all right, and to let you know step by step, all right. We don't know the exact date of when it is that things will be happening, but we observe the times to show you, hey, we're moving closer to this thing, okay? So I want to get I mentioned Africa and just want to read here. Population scale ID verification in focus at ID for Africa 2023, etc. Uganda launches inclusive digital government roadmap to facilitate access to services. The case for an integrated digital CRVS system for African countries. So a lot of the articles here have to do with the continent of Africa. Kenya signs digital ID support deal with UNDP, introduces a new number. Okay, so let me get one more preset and close it off, because Satan is working overtime. And this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. And this is the point that we're heading to very soon. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So everyone is going to be affected by this, the entire earth, right? But it is only the elect of the nation of Israel that will be kept from the hour of temptation, i.e., you hear that? Okay. i.e., that is the elect of the nation of Israel only will be kept from the hour of temptation. So anyway, with that, I like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Bashmukah Kodesh, Wa Abad, Babal, Shalom.